Welcome to Wild West Garage. My name's Morgan, and today on the messy workbench I'm working on a solenoid. So the camper that I bought, when I bought it, the fella told me there's an auxiliary battery under the hood. So when I bought it, he told me that he had disconnected the auxiliary battery because it was dead. So I just happen to have a deep cycle battery here, and I finally got around to putting it in the truck, and I hooked it up and I realized it wasn't charging. So what it was is the isolator solenoid wasn't making contact. I could hear the coil kicking in, but there was no continuity between the charging terminals or the high current terminals. So I haven't called downtown yet for a price on one, but I did go online, and an AC Delco or standard electric version of this solenoid is about $80 US. So I decided I'm going to fix it. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing. So here it is, all blown apart on the bench. And so what I had to do was, there's rivets through these 4 holes in the corners here. And I tried drilling them out, but they were just spinning. So what I had to do was I just took a flapper disc and ground the back side off. So that got it apart. And then I had to desolder the electrical connections. So that was a bit tricky. One of them came off pretty easy, the other one was a bit of a fight. So what the problem is this. Here's the contactor, the movable piece. So you can see it's pretty burned, right? But I think what the real problem was, and I've already gone and cleaned it up now, so you're not going to be able to see that, but inside there, those contacts were just green. You can see all that green stuff around them. That's what they looked like. They were totally covered in green. That's what copper does when it oxidizes, it goes green. So I've got this all cleaned up now. I'm going to put it back together and it should work. Actually, I do have to clean, I still have to clean this side. So it's going to work. It's just, and so for less time than it would have took me to get in my car and drive downtown and buy a new one, I'm going to have this fixed. About half an hour maybe. So if you want to make 80 bucks an hour, fix the solenoid. So there's the movable contact, and it's pretty badly pitted over here, so I don't want to sand it anymore or grind it anymore. Whatever. It'll weaken it too much. But I think it's going to work. I know it's going to work. So here it is all put back together, and so what I did was I have these rivets, and it turns out that they weren't quite long enough, and the first one that I did, it split the housing, so just knocked a big chunk off of here. So when the head of this nail went inside the rivet, it just expanded it so much that it just blew this. I guess this is Bakelite or something like that, so it's pretty brittle. So on the next 3, I just barely pulled the rivet just so it expanded the outside of it a bit. If I had longer rivets, I probably would have still broken the first one. But anyways, I would have just pulled that down, and then I just, to expand it down to here, then I could have just ground the nails off, stems. In this case, I just pushed them out. But so then I drilled a hole here, and I twisted a piece of wire like this, and it broke another chunk off. So I had to drill another hole, and I carefully you know, just wound that down. Didn't put a ton of pressure on it. And then I thought I didn't have a lot of faith in these rivets, so I just went ahead and put wire through them too. So all in all, I think this took me about an hour, so or just 80 bucks an hour. So and I did test it. It's got continuity here, so it's all good. So here it is installed on the truck. And if you're wondering what that white stuff is, it's sealant. And I thought it looked like water was getting in this thing, so I sealed it just on the top side. You know, so if any water does get in it, it can drain out the bottom, but it's not going to get in through the top. So I've got the key on. And this is the side that comes from the battery, from that battery over there. And this is the side that feeds this battery right here. So if you don't know how this works, how it works is you saw the coil in there. So I don't know why that's not lighting up, but it should be. Yeah, this side lights up. This must be the ground side. That's the ground side. So how this works is power comes into here. Power comes to there, to that terminal. Goes through the coil, so it's a magnetic. It creates a magnetic field, and there's a piece that slides in there. It's connected to the contact, so it moves out, makes contact, and that power comes from that battery over there. That's the primary battery in the truck, and then it goes, it goes through the coil to ground. That's with the key on. So this is a keyed the source from ignition. So that battery energizes the solenoid, and it makes this connection. So this is also coming from the other battery or the charging system. And then it connects to here. And then, so this battery is for the camper, right? There's also another battery in the camper. So right now it's sending power to both of these batteries. And then when you shut the key off, I'll show you what happens. So now I don't have any power on this top terminal. So that way, when you're at your campsite, you're not going to drain that battery. It disconnects that battery from this battery and the battery that's in the camper. So these two batteries are hooked in parallel. So they're both, so if you hook them in series, it would become a 24 volt system, but you hook the batteries in parallel to get 12 volt. Heavy equipment uses two batteries in parallel, or series rather, to run 24 volts, but cars are 12. Anyways, that's how that works, and it works. So there we go. Mission accomplished. So, like I said, it probably took me a good hour to fix that thing and get it, installed. Maybe an hour and 15-20 minutes to get it repaired and back in there. So, I live about, I'm going to say 10 minutes from our local, or the closest parts supplier in Duncan. And like I said, I didn't phone them to see if they had one. I don't care if they had one because it's working now. So, 10 minutes down, 10 minutes back, 10 minutes hanging around in the parts store for them to find what I need, whatever. And so there's a good half an hour. So I mean, it really only cost me, you know, about an hour to actually fix this thing. So I think that's pretty good, and no cash outlay. Or, well, I had to buy those rivets at some point in my life, but you know, for whatever, in that tie wire. So there's a little bit of expenses, but pretty minimal. So anyways, that's just what I like to do. If I can fix something, I'll fix it rather than replace it. You know, I think there's an awful lot of waste in this world. You know, obviously if the coil wasn't working, I wouldn't have bothered to try and fix it. You know, it's usually those things will burn up or whatever. They don't generally come disconnected inside. So the fact that I could hear the thing working led me to believe that it would just be a simple issue with the contacts, and that's exactly what it was. So anyways, I get satisfaction out of fixing things. I like to fix things. If you've been watching this channel, you know that. You know, I'd rather make or repair something rather than buying a new part. So that's that, and I encourage you to do the same. You know, working with your hands and your brain and fixing things can give you a lot of satisfaction in life. At least it gives me quite a bit of satisfaction. So go out and fix something. It'll make you feel good.